Aloha everybody. Today I come to you from Clear Lake out here in Central Oregon. Once again on another solo camping trip. The lake here is absolutely stunning. Crystal clear waters. Yesterday I spent some time paddleboarding. But I get some questions sometimes, and I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, why go on these solo retreats? And well, I think there's many different ways to answer that. I think each one has its own reason. For the most part, sometimes it's not my choice. Sometimes I ask people if they want to come and no one wants to go. If I'm feeling like I still want to go, I go. But sometimes there's a reason. Sometimes there's a calling in my heart, something encouraging me that I need it. And that's the reason why I go on it. This time in particular, it was one of those situations where I knew and I felt like this was something that I needed. This past week was one that was filled with struggle. Struggle in the sense that I felt like I wasn't living up to the standard, the expectations that I hold myself to. I think we all have certain standards and expectations we hold ourselves to. And for me, this past week, I just wasn't meeting them. I was waking up later than I wanted to, expected to. My day got off to a late start. I wasn't as productive. I was not living in the highest frequency that I knew I could. I was doing actions that weren't aligned with my highest being. I really honestly felt like a failure this week. I started to question if I'm capable of doing the things that I want to do, because it felt like I didn't have control. I didn't have control over myself. And this is something that I take pride in. The podcast is called the I Am Here Now podcast. And I feel like I failed in this. So I retreated out here for one day. And I was really kind of hoping to find answers maybe. Yesterday, when I was paddleboarding, I had this moment where I realized something. So I'm paddleboarding out here in Clear Lake, crystal blue waters. You can see right underneath me. But I set the standard. I set a goal of I'm gonna paddle around the whole lake. And it's a pretty big lake. I don't know if you guys can necessarily see it, but it is a big lake. And I set that standard. And I told myself I'm gonna prove to myself that I can be someone of discipline, of my word. I would set out on this journey around the lake. And I'm fighting, and I'm fighting, and I'm fighting, trying to get around this lake as fast as I can. I'm probably about halfway, and now the current is going against me, and I'm struggling, struggling and pushing, fighting against the current, trying to get up the river. I keep on fighting, and I keep on fighting, and I keep on fighting. And at this point, I'm starting to sweat. I feel my muscles starting to ache. But I just keep on pushing. Fight, fight, fight. And then in a moment, I just take a breath. And what I notice is my board starts to turn course. And for a second, I think about trying to fight it. But I let it go. And what I notice is my board changes course, and then it starts to drift back in the direction. And so then I start paddling, and I realize where the current naturally took me was away from its stream. And now I was able to paddle. I was then able to go. Another time, I was trying to come on land, to just relax, read a little bit. And so I'm aiming for a specific point where there's this like little sandy pot spot. And I don't know if you've ever been on paddleboard. It's not like a kayak where you have two paddles, but you only have one paddle. So I'm paddling, and I'm paddling the other side. I'm trying to straighten my board out to really get it going straight to the spot. At some point, just like in that last scenario, I just let go. I let the current take control. And the craziest thing happened where the current straightened my board out and drifted me straight to the sandy spot. Now, I'm not a water person. I don't know if this was luck. I don't know if this is physics and science. This is the way currents work. I have no clue. But I learned a valuable lesson. Sometimes you don't need to fight. You don't need to fight to prove who you are. You don't need to fight to do things, to accomplish things. Sometimes you just need to let the current take you exactly where you're supposed to be. And really, what I learned is that there is no such thing as failure. Really, all there truly is being, allowing. Because when you tell yourself you're a failure or a success, you are really neither of those things. All you really are is who you are in that moment. And to simplify it to success or failure, it doesn't do the moment justice. I don't know if you need to hear this today, but you are not a failure. You are not a success. You are not what you tell yourself that you are. What you are is what you are. I am that I am. All you really are is your being in this pure moment. And your being is perfectly enough as it is. There is nothing you need to prove. There is nothing you need to do. There is nothing that you need to accomplish. Through simply being, you allow the current of your life to take you exactly where you need to be. And of course, you'll need to paddle at some points. But through acceptance and allowing and letting go, it is then that you're able to really get to that sandy spot that you're trying to get to. So, that is it for me, from the Clear Lake in Central Oregon. I hope all of you guys find presence, find peace, find stillness today. And per usual, stay present, stay grounded, and aloha.